Right, so I thought I'd do a quick vlog, September the 11th, 2007. I might split this into two video blogs. First, in chronological order, a dream, another dream, which I might add to that story, which was inspired by the dream which I talked about in another video blog about. Was that the dream about being in the garden and seeing the cloud of smoke coming from the side and then going into that thingy bobby. So this might add it into there somewhere. I was having a snooze in the afternoon after work, and I woke up with this dream, and we were in a tunnel. It's probably Eurotunnel. I know they have recently been talking about the Eurotunnel a couple of weeks ago, about how they go fast now. When they come from France into England, the track goes fast. The track allows the train to go faster. That's it. So it might have been because of that I was thinking about it. Who knows? So it's like a Eurotunnel type thing. And I was with a friend who I work with, and we were in this car. He was driving. Neither of us can drive, but he was driving. And for some reason they closed behind us. I can't remember why. Something happened, or whether they just closed it, or whether it was closed, whatever. I think something happened and that made that area closed. Now, we were in this part where we had to stop because engineers were working. They were doing something to this line. It was as if it was being set up for new. They couldn't carry on with the car because in the way it looked like envelopes stacked up that were across the path where the car could travel. That might be because I was doing something with envelopes at work. That's possible, that's where that came in. Or it could have been corrugated iron or something like that in the way. Anyway, that's what I should put instead of big huge envelopes, obviously, in the story whenever I write it. And so we had to get out of the car, and then these engineers were saying that they had this long, very thin pipe, and they had to shoot something through it or something. And if it hit the right bit, then that was okay. If it missed, then it would burst maybe an outer pipe somewhere or something, or the outer shell of this tunnel, and then all water would come through and it would flood this tunnel. That's why I think it's Eurotunnel, because it's under the water. And so we were saying, this is not the right time to do it. We're here, can you do this another time? But they're saying they had to do it. So they do that. And at this point, it seemed to jump. Maybe I think I did wake up at one point, then I went back to sleep again. And then we're in this room, and there's a little TV up in the air, attached to the wall. And the football seems to be on there, because one of my friends likes Arsenal and was talking about football. Anyway, so I think he was in it then. He was watching the football. And I think they've done the pipe bit. I think they've done that, and that all went okay because it's not flooded. Someone turns a light switch on, and when they turn the light switch on, we hear a big thud. Probably because I'm thinking, because the tunnel's being set up, maybe we shouldn't have put that light switch on, and it's done something horrible. And so when they've put this light switch on, we've heard this big thud back where the engineers were. And I think when we open a door, it's been previously closed. We open the door to see down that long tunnel, which we're still in, but in a different room. And we see all white smoke in there, and we have to, then we know something's happened to these engineers, probably because of that light switch being turned on. I suspect that bit was from September the 11th, because obviously today's September the 11th, and they were talking about it at work, and also I did that 30 seconds remembrance video, so that probably put that in my mind. Well, that might have been afterwards, actually. But talking about September 11th during the day might have come up for that reason, why that bit seems a bit like that. So we see this white smoke come towards us. We slam the door, motorbike passes, and we start running through the other side of the tunnel, thinking, we have to get to the end of the tunnel quickly before whatever happens engulfs us. Maybe the water's going to come through, or the smoke is going to poison us or whatever. And then I woke up. So that would be somewhere added to the story. Now, another dream I had this morning when I woke up was about a dog, and also my wife was in the tunnel at one point, because I remember she was saying about her eye. I think she was in the car with us, and she was saying about her eye because she had problems last night. That's why she had to make that emergency appointment that I've talked about in the previous blog about her eye. So she was in it for a little bit, talking about her eye. Anyway, so this morning I had another dream. And so that dream was really on the 10th. This is the 11th of September dream. And we were in the garden, me and my wife, and this big dog jumped over the fence. you know, almost like spring, like that, and jumped into that middle of the garden. That garden's coming in a lot of these dreams. And then we ran to close the kitchen door. We were struggling with closing the kitchen. I don't remember too much of this one. We were struggling to close it, and this dog was trying to get in and push its way, and we were trying to close the door. I think I did fight with it one little time, but then I was back behind the door. Obviously dreams, they don't always go in linear fashion. And there was one point where this door became like two sliding doors, so I was holding one, keeping it closed, where the other one was open, and the dog turned into a person, I think it was a girl, and she was holding this door, pulling it open, so it metamorphosized into a person, probably because part of my brain somehow knew that a dog can't stand up and open a door and struggle with it like a human can, so that's probably what turned into that. And then I woke up from that. Yeah, so it was interesting. I think I have enough time. The other thing I was going to say, new chair by the way, just in case you've noticed. Much better, much more comfortable, though still the mess at the back. So it will be cleared up, yes. And I was going to say about September the 11th, because today is September the 11th. I did that video yesterday. I think it was Seth's, was it Jones's, I can't remember his numbers now. It's got Jones's S, I think is actually what it's supposed to be, but I did it wrong. I did it, Jones S 105639. He had a 30-second remembrance video for September the 11th, replying to someone else's video, which I put a reply in as well, of me with 30 seconds remembrance. And I thought I'd talk about September 11th briefly, because I'm not sure whether people will mention that there's not much Muslim representation of people, you know, showing their remembrance for the victims of September 11th. Obviously I'm a Muslim, it's not always necessary, so I have contributed to that. And I was just going to recollect where I was when it happened, because someone mentioned that in one of their videos on YouTube. And I was at work, and someone actually did mention it at work, and they were talking about some plane or either breaking up or going to building. He said something, and I was a bit confused what he was saying. I don't think he knew the whole story, so it was a bit confusing. I thought he was just joking. This plane going in, I think he said it was a jet fighter going into a building or something like that, and I thought he was just joking, or saying something, or was reporting something that happened ages ago. And then when I was on the bus, I checked my mobile and had to text my wife, and she told me that a plane had flown into the World Trade. By the time I got home, which must have been about half an hour later, I don't know, was the gap between the planes that much? I thought it was less than that. Maybe I was seeing a repeat, because obviously they showed that shot of the planes going in a lot of times. And I think I was at home when the second one actually went in, because I was watching it live, and they're showing the first, and they were just showing the building, it was smoking away. And then I saw the second one go in, and I couldn't believe it. At that time, obviously, when the first one, and everyone thought it was just, you know, a plane had gone out of control and accidentally flown into the building. And then when you saw the second, then you knew that something was up. And then obviously it was the Pentagon next, wasn't it? And then the one that obviously was meant for the White House, that went into the forest, that came later. Although it wasn't too clear about that one at that time, I don't think. And when I was watching after the second one, and I think after the Pentagon, I thought this was going to happen all day. I really did. Yeah, because you don't expect one, and then two, and then three, and then and then four, and I thought, when is this going to stop? And it was the most momentous day, and all the wrong reasons, in the way that I think that's why everyone remembers it. It's like when JFK was killed, or John Lennon, or whatever, that it was such a strange thing to take place. And then when I was watching it and the towers came down, that was unbelievable. I never expected that, and most people didn't. And obviously it did. Obviously, I was very emotional, and we had a 2-minute silence at work, and it was very emotional. And also, but when they showed the actual stories of these people, and what actually really happened, and the buildings coming down themselves, and how people were trapped and throw themselves out, choosing fire or jumping. I don't think there'll ever be anything quite like that ever again. I hope there won't. And you know, I often say to people who obviously question me about this religious aspect, that the people that committed this, these so-called Muslims, you know, without a shadow of doubt, they're going to go to hell for what they did. And these people who suffered in this way are more likely to go to heaven because of how they suffered at these people's hands. Obviously I'm not God, and it's God's choice to make, but I'm 100% sure that the people that committed these atrocities will go to hell, because even if these were your enemies, you don't do this. So anyway, I just wanted to put those thoughts of September 11th. I'm running out of time. Okay, thank you.